more about Krista Marie, www.kristamarie.net. Get a ringtone, find out what's going on, what her latest songs are, and what our latest problem is. Because there is water percolating up through the surface of the track in a couple of places, and that's causing us some problems, Mike.
Yeah, definitely got some seepage now that the sun comes out and brings that water up. And as you can see right there, you just cannot run on a racetrack when you got moisture on it.
And of course, part of that is from the rain that came in the past 2 days. And this was earlier. Now watch on the right side of your screen, Warren Johnson.
Warren Johnson got a big time sideways, was able to hang on to it, even made a move when he pulled the chutes down track, and he was on a little bit of a ride there.
And when he got out, he was boiling. He was upset about the fact that it got loose from him. And Jason Line back at the starting line, he was upset. And what is it all about? Well, Gary Gerald tracked down Warren Johnson.
You saw Warren Johnson making that pass, and near the finish line, the car skating on what appeared to be moisture on the racetrack. Obviously, Warren and his team not happy at all. Can you clarify or tell us what's going on here, WJ?
Well, this has been a long-time problem, and it's probably manifested itself worse in the last few years, simply from the fact that NHRA as a sanctioning body hasn't been paying due diligence to what they should be doing instead of just scalping the spectators. What's happened is the fact that they didn't slow those fuel cars down 5 or 10 years ago, as they should have, by having a tech committee that was cognizant of what was going on. If they would have slowed them down, the tracks would have to be spending $400,000 and $500,000 just for shut-off areas for only 32 cars in the whole country. Less than 1/10 of 1% of all the drag race cars in this country are going to ruin this sport. What needs to be done is they need to slow them cars down beforehand, not after, so the tracks have to spend all the money fixing shutdown areas instead of fixing the racetrack for the rest of the competitors, the 99.9%.
Do you have any voice or any forum that you can express these feelings to and perhaps get something in progress that will help the situation?
Well, I'm sure after this telecast, there's going to be some dialogue between me and, or in fact, all of the competitors with the exception of the fuel cars and NHRA, because it's something that needs to be addressed before somebody gets killed out there. Yeah, I mean, Scott Coletta's death was one of those unfortunate things, and a number of fuel car guys that have died. We don't need that. But at the same time, there's other competitors out here that are going to probably be in trouble in mid-track, not at the finish line.
Give us specifically what the problem is as far as this racetrack or
this
today's event.
This racetrack, as it is on a number of racetracks when we have these conditions, is that water starts percolating up through the race surface. You've got two areas on this track, similar to what Norwalk had, that are higher than the racetrack. There's two areas of ground that are higher than the racetrack, and what happens is that stuff doesn't run uphill, it runs downhill. Sun comes up, warms it up, it percolates up through the racetrack, and you've got moisture on the track. Simple.
Thanks.
So, Mike, what he's additionally saying is the money might have been spent on stopping that.
Well, I think you got to do both myself. I mean, you got to take care of, obviously, the fuel cars, keep them safe. But he's also right. You got to keep the pro stock cars safe also. And he's probably pretty upset, too, because they had a similar situation first round Atlanta. Excuse me, when him and Johnny Gray both got completely sideways. Warren just basically did a better job of not crashing, got the round win. So he's understandably upset about it.
And so the decision has been made that they will bring back top fuel, which